In World War I, the young Hercule Poirot devises an action to help the Allied forces convert land against the Central Powers. However, he is unable to stop his captain's death from a booby trap, which amputate Poirot's face. He is tended to by his lover, Nurse Catherine, who boost him to grow his mustache to hide his scars. In 1937, Poirot enters a club where jazz singer Salome Otterbourne is operating. He witnesses Jackie de Belfort introduce her fiancé Simon Doyle to her childhood friend, recipient Lynette Ridgway, to offer him business. Lynette hires Simon on the spot, and sparks fly between the two to Jackie's discomfort. 6 weeks later, Poirot is vacationing in Egypt when he confrontation his friend Bouc and meets his mother Euphemia, a renowned painter. Bouc introduces Poirot to his friends Lynette and Simon, who have married and are celebrating their honeymoon. The honeymoon is joined by several guests: Lynette's longtime maid Louise Bourget, Salome's niece and manager and Lynette's old acquaintance Rosalie, Lynette's communist-leaning godmother Marie Van Schuyler's nurse Mrs. Bowers, Lynette's cousin Andrew Cachadurian, who is in charge of Lynette's will, and Dr. Linus Windlesham, who had been matched to Lynette before she left him for Simon. Lynette and Simon request protection from Poirot as Jackie has followed them there, having become an obsessive stalker wanting to win Simon back after their engagement fell apart. Desiring to break out from Jackie but not wanting to disrupt their honeymoon, the couple opt to board the cruise SS Karnak with their guests. However, Lynette admits to Poirot that she is paranoid and does not trust her guests. During a stopover at the Abu Simbel, Bouc acknowledged to Poirot that he is dating Rosalie, despite Euphemia's censure. Poirot gives him his blessing, while Bouc encourages him to find love. Poirot begins showing activity towards the charismatic Salome. Lynette and Simon narrowly evade a collapsing boulder, and after escaping a sandstorm, the guests return to the Karnak only to find Jackie had also boarded. Lynette and Simon decide to leave the following morning and share a final farewell with Poirot. An intoxicated Poirot encounters Jackie, who is still adamant in wanting to win back Simon. Poirot shares to her that he was supposed to be with Catherine after the war ended, but she died from a mortar explosion, which led to Poirot closing himself to romantic feelings. While Lynette leaves to sleep for the night, Simon confronts and insults Jackie, prompting her to instinctively shoot at his leg before immediately feeling remorse and kicking her gun away. Bouc and Rosalie bring Jackie to be tended by Mrs. Bowers, while Windlesham tends to Simon's wound. Louise finds Lynette shot in the head the following morning and her valuable jewel necklace stolen. Poirot, joined by Simon and Bouc, begin interrogating the guests and unravel possible motivations. Jackie is ruled out as the killer due to being monitored by Bowers all night. Louise was supposed to leave Lynette's employment after getting married, but Lynette forcefully ended her commitment to keep her as her servant. Windlesham is revealed to be part of an aristocratic family, but has given up his privilege to help people as a doctor. Bowers was also from a wealthy family, but she and her workers were evicted of their lands because of Lynette's parents. Poirot deduces that she is not Van Schuyler's maid but her lover. Andrew had almost let Lynette sign a reworked contract that would have appropriated her, had it not been for Rosalie's intervention. He also possesses a larger gun. Salome has a gun similar to Jackie's in her headdress. Euphemia spots Lynette's necklace among her belongings and writing it to Poirot, who begins suspecting her as well. As Jackie's gun, the murder weapon, is eventually found wrapped with Van Schuyler's missing scarf and missing 2 bullets. Poirot gathers Bouc, Euphemia, Salome, and Rosalie, and reveals that he was hired by Euphemia to spy on Rosalie to see if she is a suitable love for Bouc. Despite Poirot's approval, Euphemia still denies to give them her grace to Bouc's distress, while Rosalie berates Poirot for deceiving them. Louise is found dead in the water wheel, with her throat slit and money found among her belongings. As tension raises high among the guests, Poirot sees the shape of a possible witness near blood splatter from Louise's murder. Poirot and Simon interrogate Bouc, who is bewildered at his own friend suspecting him. Poirot deduces that Bouc had already found Lynette dead. he stole her jewel necklace and placed it in his mother's belongings to implicate her for stealing, thus giving him and Rosalie freedom from her. He then approved Louise extorting money from the killer before she was killed herself and threw his coat in the river as it was coated in Louise's blood. Before he could reveal the killer, Bouc is executed from afar. Poirot chases after the killer and fails to catch them, only conclusion Andrew's gun left behind. Motivated by the death of his closest friend, he and the crew of the Carnac lock the extant guests in the boat's bar, having solved the murder. Poirot gets Andrew to acknowledge that he had thrown the boulder at Simon and Lynette as an act of agony, but he is adamant that he was not the killer. Poirot reveals that Simon is Lynette's killer, with Jackie as the mastermind. They are still lovers, as they agreed Simon's romance with Lynette so Simon would inherit her wealth once she is killed. Having pretended to shoot Simon, she managed to distract Bouc and Rosalie, while Simon used paint stolen from Euphemia to fake his injury. And he used the short bulk of time to kill Lynette, with Louise witnessing it, and then shot himself in the leg with Van Schuyler's scarf as a silencer in time for Windlesham to arrive. Simon later disposed of the murder weapon, while Jackie later killed Louise and Bouc. Engaged in a standoff with Poirot and Salome, Simon pursued to escape with Jackie, but Jackie, knowing there is no escape for them, shoots through both of them, killing the two lovers. The passengers disembark, with Salome admitting that she was interested in Poirot before he showed his cold charm in his work. In London, a clean-shaven Poirot visits Salome's jazz club to watch her achieve.